I got to talk about these guys because of the resurgence that happened when they literally cooked. I mean, and they cooked the shit out of Cameron and them in that damn verses. And one of my favorite rappers, man. Now he's not in my top 5 because I can only put 5 in there, but he's definitely in my top 10. And that's Jada Kiss. But let's talk about the LOX because Styles P that's a hell of a Pippin to Jada's Jordan. That's a hell of a guy right there, man. And that's no disrespect. Styles P has really, man, his ball work has consistently got better and better. The Ghost has definitely improved over the years. Love me some Sheik.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the LOX and their legacy because even though when they got with, they was on Bad Boy for a moment, but they shook that off.
Yeah.
And they went over there with Rough Riders and got them and Dean and Watt and them did their thing with them, man. Let's talk about that, man. Let's talk about the LOX, man.
Well, with the LOX, it's a lot like Rep Man. They're a workman's group. Nothing spectacular, nothing flashy. Just working results. That's it. That's all you getting from them. Individually, they all have their exploits, as you mentioned. Jada, I think, to me, became the biggest beneficiary of being in the public's eye, taking that work they did with the LOX, building on it, and becoming a phenomenon of his own right.
Yes, sir.
Same thing with Styles P, taking that work and really becoming a phenomenon by his own light. Sheik doesn't have the exploits of those two either. But what he is, he's the perfect team player. So when it comes together, you don't have no LOX without Sheik being there. You can talk a lot about Jada and a lot about Styles, but it ain't no LOX without Sheik being there to complete the trio. It's not. But collectively, they are a force, and they've been a force now for 25 years after they first burst onto the scene. Now, a lot of people will discount them, right? Because you're not mentioning the LOX in your top 10 groups of all time. You're not even probably mentioning them in your top 20 hip-hop groups of all time.
You're not, B-Cox.
Based just on their group catalog alone. That's not to say the group catalog isn't good. It's good, right? But I think even with the hype of what we got from the LOX, I thought we was probably expecting a little bit better out of their group catalog. But you put together all of their work from what they've done as a group, individually, what each of them have done, whether it's been through the projects individually they've released, freestyles, mixtapes, features, and everything else, they definitely have a top 20 group impact. Again, let's take all those things together. They have a top 20 group impact when you talk about all those things put together, right? And if nothing else, what the Versus did against Dipset, let everybody know that you can't discount them against anybody, right? We always talk about in basketball, any series actually where you have 7 games and anything, right? Matchups, styles make fights, right? Styles make series. And what that was is stylistically, it was not only just a bad matchup for Dipset, but when you underestimate your opponent, as I think Dipset did, and I think the public did, it creates a recipe for disaster of what can happen when you have a bad matchup. And yes, while Jada had the MVP performance of that Versus, and rightfully so, and gets most of the credit, the group helped contribute to what that night was, right? Because it wasn't just Jada on there freestyling over Who Shot Ya and singing his verse from New York that won that night for them. It's the understanding the critical mistake that Jewel's made about these niggas ain't got no songs for the ladies. Then for them to pump out all the features of stuff and things that they've done over the years, that'd be like, we don't have things for the ladies. Are you kidding me?
With Mariah Carey?
Like, we got Grammys. We got Grammys of stuff that we got for the ladies. What are you talking about? So what you have with the LOX is 25 years, a group that has put in a workman's effort, a group that is still together and no disputes, no rifts, just partnership, teamwork, and brotherhood as the way it's supposed to be. I don't know how many times I've seen them on The Breakfast Club or any other interview they've been on where they like, yo, man, we've been together for 25 years. We ain't never thought about broken up. Yeah, we're going to take some breaks. Jada, like, I got to do what I got to do. Styles is going to do what I got to do. Sheik is doing what he's doing. But when it comes down to it, we still going to come back together and we are going to be living off experience, the LOX. That's what we're going to be. And 25 years, that's all it's been. Nothing flashy, not spectacular, but they're a workman's group. They're going to show up to work and they're going to produce results. And if nothing else, You have to respect that. And when you got people that show up and produce results, even if they're not spectacular, you take that every day of the week and twice on Sunday rather than somebody who has a peak and then a valley and then a peak and then a valley. With them, it's just kind of been steady. Their graph is very, very steady. It may not be at the height of some other groups, but it's been consistent.
Because I like that a workman's group. I like how you refer to Redman as workman's MC.
Yeah,
I love that, man. They personified, man. You know what, man? The turtle beat the rabbit in the end because
exactly.
because they were slow and steady. You didn't see you can't you watch a turtle move. That's gonna be some depressing shit. But I tell you what, you come back about 2 weeks, that damn turtle moved a whole lot down that road.
Exactly.
But you watching at the time, like, man, he ain't doing shit. I'm gonna go over here and with this rabbit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hey man, I love the fact that they stay together. The solidarity of those three guys, man. Much respect for Jada, you know, for Sheik and for Ghost, for Styles P. Much love.